Hi everybody, it's Simon here from BarrierlifeInc, and tonight we're joined by Dead Romantic. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hey
Good
there.
evening.
Great, thanks.
How's things?
Yeah, really good, thanks. As I just said to you, I'm sitting inside and I'm absolutely cooking tonight. You guys have picked the better option.
See, the great outdoors. Sometimes this is the best option. I mean, not all that often.
No, because we've been roasting all day
the
today.
UK, but I mean, we can't really complain about the heat, though, can we? I mean, usually we're complaining about the rain, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always a subject of a conversation, isn't it?
Definitely. Always.
Yeah. So, guys, you're a relatively new band. How did you come about meeting each other?
You tell the story, Ben. So,
so I wanted to start a new project, and I had seen a posting of Dan. Someone had posted of him belting out a Led Zeppelin tune, and I'm like, "Oh man, who is that singer? I need to meet the singer." So I sent a comment saying, "Does anyone know who this guy is?" And a girl responded and said, "Oh, it's Dan Taylor. I'll make an introduction to you." Not saying that it was Dan's wife, but you know. So she made the introduction, and I wrote him and I said, "Look, I'm a producer. I just moved to the UK from overseas." And I think he thought I was full of shit.
I was like, yeah, right. This guy wants me to come to his house.
Pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme.
It's like, what's that baiting thing?
Yeah.
Like,
Catfish.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird catfish thing.
So you're going to walk through the door and there's going to be a big chalkboard up on the wall and they're going to sell you something, right?
Yeah.
Now you walk in and all the rooms just lined with like plastic sheeting.
Yeah. So he came over and we went had lunch at a pub. We talked music and kind of what the plan could be, and then we tried to write some songs, and then we stumbled across a sound, and then we're like, shit, now we need a band. We need some cool guys to fill this out. But
none of the cool guys were available, so we ended up with
I was just about to go, but no one was available, so they found me.
Yeah, and then so now we're here, and we have a great group of guys, and we're all on the same page, and we all kind of have the same goals. And so we've released 2 singles now, and another one comes out this Friday. So hopefully we can start kicking some ass and getting out there on the road and touring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you two met, there was obviously a lot of chemistry, and there was obviously a similar interest in terms of some of your tastes that were going on. Is that kind of right from your past and your background?
Yeah, well, I mean, we all have we all have our own tastes. We all have varied things. Like I might like something Mike doesn't like, but I think there's a common sort of rock influence in that. And like, although maybe we listen to different bands, we do have some common interests, like common sort of bands that we like, but all of our influences sort of pooled together in what seems like just the right way to be able to create something that was like really cool and that we all love, and we're just like really excited to get out there to sort of show everybody, I guess.
And the diversity is cool because we all, even though we have a common interest of one kind of music, we kind of pull from different things, take some pop from over here, some metal from here.
Yeah, and you can hear that in what I've listened to already. There's most definitely all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes it fun and keeps us all in the same band and interested. And
yeah, for sure. I mean, here's a question for you. I was watching a documentary a few days ago about Richie Blackmore. And that took me back to him being my first sort of guitar hero, my first influence when I was just a young lad. And particularly a song called Speed King that he did. And that still rings true today. When I was watching the documentary, it brought everything back and sort of kept it fresh again. Who were your influences when you were growing up? Who was your sort of figurehead in terms of what you do within this band now?
Oh man, I mean, everyone's going to say something way different here. So,
yeah,
I probably come from a similar school to you as far as guitar player and guitar heroes. I love shredder guys. I like Paul Gilbert, and I like Malmsteen and Vi, and all those guys. A guy from Canada, Pete Les Bronce, is one of my favorite guitar players. Steve Lukather,
Van Halen.
Van Halen, of course. You mean, but I mean, kind of everyone and anyone. But then I have pop influences like Michael Jackson and R&B stuff, and it's kind of Beatles. Like pretty much anything that catches my attention somehow gets absorbed and comes out in one way or another. And but then there's modern rock stuff too. Like I love bands like My Chemical Romance, and I loved Linkin Park and Bring Me the Horizon, Architects, those kind of bands that are more in our wheelhouse. But if it's a good tune, that's all I care about. It's about the song. So, but all of us are gonna have very different influences.
Yeah, I think I always sort of looked up to sort of the sort of eccentric front man, I guess, like the guys that were doing something that was their own little sort of thing that they had. Like, I mean, like people like David Bowie and Mick Jagger, and like, I mean, even Michael Jackson, like it's just something that where you look at that, it just goes, wow. Yeah, that's like crazy. But then, like as a kid, I sort of idolized Adam Lazzara from Taking Back Sunday. He was doing like all this like mic swinging about stuff, and like I went to see them when I was like 15 or something, and I could just remember looking up and thinking, "Whoa, this is intense. I need to do this." So, yeah, I mean, like I think it's the whole show for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, it's like one thing to be an accomplished musician or whatever you might do within the band and stand up there and deliver it, but it's another thing to throw in some personality, isn't it, and make it your own. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Excuse me. I think from a bass player's perspective, if there is one, I'm really, really heavily influenced by Tim Comerford from Rage Against the Machine, and Justin Chancellor from Tool. But as a musician, for me, it's James Hetfield from Metallica, like all the way. Yeah, Metallica were the first band that ever saw live, ever. And ever since then, it's just like that's the iconic rhythm guitarist for me, like just like a powerhouse.
That's a great first band, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it was absolute. Well, I guess if I'm being technical, Machine Head were the first band they ever saw live because they were opening for Metallica.
Oh, right. Was that the Death Magnetic tour then?
Yes. Yeah, that was the first ever gig I'd ever been. I was 13, maybe 14. Yeah. I'd never even heard a drum kit in a real room before, and it was absolutely terrifying. But ever since then, I was like, I need a guitar. This is I have to do this now. This is amazing.
So I first saw Metallica, I think it was 1987 when they played on the Monsters of Rock show. So just as obviously they'd changed bass players after Cliff had died, and that was a pretty intense gig to say the least. But
Jason Newsted is one of my favorite bass players as well. But I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous that you got to see them then. Not at all.
It was incredible when he was in the band, was Jason.
Oh yeah, he's so good.
So getting back anyways to your stuff, I've just been watching the videos and bits over the last few days, and I really loved the video for yesterday. Obviously we could probably do with a little bit of that chill right now, but where did you record it?
We had to climb
Everest,
Bamford Edge, which felt like Everest on the day because the snow was like this deep, and it was like every step you took, you'd sink in and then backwards maybe half a foot. So it was like many more steps than were necessary on that day.
Chris got about 15 steps into the hike up and decided to just sit in the snow with his bass.
I gave up.
Yeah, collapsed in the snow.
I was about 30 seconds into the walk. I put my bass down on the floor. I sat on the case and I sat and waited for death. I was like, this is it now.
This is it. I'm never going down.
And tell my family I love them. Pretty sure he said to me, damn, I'm a fat.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, did you not fall over like
I fell over like
during that day?
No, 10.
He almost fell off the edge of the cliff.
I felt like I nearly fell off the cliff. Yeah.
So we like up on those sort of cliff edge scenes, like it's all people have asked us like, oh, how did you do the green screen? How did you do the CGI? And it's literally nothing. There's nothing. If we were up there, we were doing it.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of times I'm like sort of rocking out, throwing myself around on the edge of the cliff. and I've jumped up in the air and landed a little bit further back than I expected to, and I'm sort of inches away from falling off the cliff.
Right.
While we were filming that, it was like a popular walking spot as well. So there's a few people walking up and down, and we bumped into. One guy was part of the mountain rescue, and he was just saying to us that someone fell off yesterday, they died. One guy fell off last week, broke both his legs, and we were like, great.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, that's great.
Really filling us with confidence.
Absolutely living on the edge then, yeah.
Living on the edge, big time. And it was minus 13.
Yeah.
Minus 13 with the wind chill. Yeah.
It was crazy cold. But yeah, so like Bamford Edge was like, that was an ordeal in itself. But then it was a 2-day shoot. So the second day we were at Jervaux Abbey, which is in Ripon.
Yeah.
And that's it's a great piece of architecture. It's like an old abbey that's like all sort of, I mean, you can go there and look at it and stuff. So go there and check it out. It's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it was tough in terms of the cold and the walking up the hill and all that sort of stuff. Well, I'm going to call it a mountain, not a hill.
It was a mountain.
But it was worth it in the end because it looks really cool.
It looks absolutely visually stunning, isn't it?
Oh, there's a dog.
Nice little cameo.
Yeah, I like that.
On the subject of singles as well, Kissed with a Lie has just gone past the 1.5 million views on YouTube.
Yeah,
That's pretty incredible, that, isn't it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
You must be well impressed with that.
It is. It's really...
We can't really believe it.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
we feel like we're gonna.
It's hard to comprehend, really. Isn't
Yeah,
it
it feels like
5 million people have watched our video.
It feels like one day we're gonna wake up and there's gonna be an email from YouTube and it's like, guys, we're so sorry. It actually has 37 views.
I thought you were going to say they'd be like looking for your address so that they could put your reward down the line for you, but obviously not. You've got a different feeling.
Fortunately, not yet. No, fingers crossed though.
But we're really happy with how they've done, and I suppose we can't really thank the people who've watched it enough because it's incredible. And hopefully the next ones will do the same. So we've got like a couple more singles lined up that we have video to as well. So hopefully people enjoy those the same as they have.
I mean, you must have been getting a bit more traffic as well with the interest that Kerrang Radio had brought you.
Yeah, I mean, we were on Kerrang TV for a fair few weeks as well. So that's pretty sweet.
We were a week ago. We were in the top 10.
Yeah, we were in the top 10 most played videos on Kerrang TV. So
superb.
That's a milestone if there ever was one,
isn't it? I mean, you mentioned more material, but can we expect an album this year?
We're hoping September 3rd. So if everything goes as planned, September 3rd would be an album release date.
All right, superb. That's excellent. And are we going to see a physical version of it, or is it only going to be available to download?
No, we're looking at physical. We're sort of in the process. We're sourcing the right place to do it, and we're trying to decide how we want that vinyl to look, and do something fancy because we're just like that.
Yeah, we're just handling the logistics because obviously COVID has slowed things down, and things are just finding their feet. Am I right in saying there's no major vinyl pressing company in the UK?
No, there's not a major one, and most of it is sourced from North America, from Europe. Right now, processing times are more than 6 months.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
so those are already in the works, I take it.
When we find someone that we can convince to push us to the front of the queue, we'll have it ready, and then it'll be golden.
It's quite an exciting time, though, isn't it? Because, obviously people that collect are really into the aesthetic of something a little bit different as well. So you guys as fans must sort of see that element as being something that you want to really tap into.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'd love to, it would be so cool to hold a vinyl record of our band, just to have one for ourselves.
Right. What's a vinyl? Does that go on an iPod?
What's an iPod?
What's an iPod?
Is anyone on an iPod?
You buy music? What is wrong with you?
So you've been working with Steve Diamond. How did that actually come about? Because obviously he's got very, very good credentials in terms of music and production.
Yeah, Steve and I, we used to write a lot in both LA and Nashville together. So before I moved over here, he and I worked on a lot of different records, pop records, R&B records. And it just felt like a good fit. He's a great guy. We're really good friends. And I knew that Dan would gel with him lyrically. I just thought, hey, let's try to write a song. And then one song led to another one and led to another one. So we've co-written a few songs with him on the album.
And I guess it's all been done remotely, obviously, with what's been going on as well. So
yeah. I mean, things like this, Zoom is like a lifesaver. Yeah.
Well, it's been the only godsend for the last sort of 15, 16 months, hasn't it?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be nice to actually get back to having some face-to-face conversations at last, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be certain people like who maybe won't be able to sit in their shirt and boxer shorts on their business Zoom calls anymore. But
why are you pointing at me? I've never done that before.
Actually, I would love to turn the camera down to show Chris's feet right now.
Why would you want to look?
Because he's got one shoe on and one sock.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I fell over this morning and I've really hurt my ankle.
Oh, jeez. I thought the dog had maybe taken off with his other one.
No, luckily not. No, I'd chase her down the street if she stole my shoes.
So, as well as the new music, you've got a couple of gigs coming up. You've just done one just recently. Was that in Oldham? Is that right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So your next gigs at the Waterloo in Blackpool just before the end of the month.
Correct.
Yeah.
You've also got one at the Black Hat in London as well.
Yeah, that's the following Wednesday. That's the first Wednesday in August. That's the
4th of August. Yeah.
How are you feeling as a band about actually getting back out live again then?
Oh, well, excited.
Very excited.
And anxious. Like I think we're really anxious to get on a stage and play. And Oldham was kind of a tease. It's like, okay, we went out and we pushed it maybe a little bit too hard. And then like, okay, now we need this to keep going and not stop. So we really want to just be on tour and have consecutive show night after night. So, and it also gets better when you do it that way too.
Of course, yeah. And it'd be the first experience that you've had outside of a studio or just working together, is it?
Yeah. It's pretty obvious how much weight Chris and I have put on.
No comment.
That's life. We'll trim down. There's plenty of time for salads, right?
Yeah, we need to just jump around on stage for a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so.
Plenty of time, yeah. Next Wednesday.
We could do next 5 days, 5 stone. Yeah, okay.
So what can everybody expect from the shows then? What are you looking for them to leave with when they leave the venue?
A lot of energy. Like, I mean, Dan's a very charismatic front person, so a lot of energy. We're jumping around like crazy, pounding drums, maybe way too loud guitars because I don't know how to turn down. Just a really fun show. The band's really great. A lot of vocals. Sam, our keyboard player, is also a great singer too. So we'll have Dave Langett playing drums, and he's a beast. So there's a lot of stuff. There might be some new treats that we don't even know that we're going to put in there yet. So.
Yeah, I mean we're playing like, I think the plan is to play all the songs from the album. So I suppose it's like a sneak preview of the album too.
Fantastic.
So that's probably pretty exciting for some.
Totally gutted because on the 28th I'm at a gig already down in Barnoldswick, so I can't actually come. Otherwise I would have loved to have come to Blackpool, but hopefully we'll get the opportunity to meet up at some other point down the road.
Fingers crossed. Yeah,
definitely.
So as well as all of this, you've got a new single coming out on Friday, which I had the preview of this afternoon, which was a pleasure, thanks to Wes. It's called Fight Me. And the question I've got basically is, in 3 minutes and 21 seconds, how do you manage to make a song sound so epic?
Well, you have to lock 4 men in a room with lots of
lots of issues,
lots of deep emotional issues, and a lot of coffee, and
no food,
and no food, and then that's kind of it, really. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So similar in terms of theme to the first two songs that I was listening to. They do sound really epic, and there's a lot of melody in that going on in the songs, which really switches me on. I play guitar as well, so it's kind of, you're always listening for that little hook and that little melody that gets you into a song. Yeah. And I think there's something to be enjoyed from all of the material that I've heard so far. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the full length album.
Cool. We'll have to send it to you and give it a little sneak peek.
It'd be really appreciated, and we can do a review and get it up online as well once the time comes, obviously, when you guys are ready. So yeah, awesome. That's really all I wanted to talk about tonight. Have you got anything else that you'd like to tell everybody ahead of these two shows?
Come down, bang your head.
Shows and throw yourselves around with us. It looks like there's no restrictions no more, so we can all dance and hug each other and get sweaty and stuff, and it'll be sensual.
Should we stop him there?
Yeah, maybe we should.
No, but the shows are going to be really cool. So we got the Blackpool on the 28th, which is this coming Wednesday, and then Camden, the Black Heart, which is the 4th of August, which is the Wednesday after.
Two great support members.
We've got some two great supports.
We've got some new merch items that we'll be posting, that will be coming. So that's on our socials.
Yeah, we just announced also, as this interview started, that we're going to be doing some giveaways. So anyone who buys a t-shirt between now and the
ticket,
anybody who buys a ticket between now and the Blackpool gig will be entered into a raffle for to win a free t-shirt, one of 10 to give away. So some free Dead Romantic merch, buy a ticket, come to Blackpool, come to London, get a free t-shirt.
Superb.
Pretty cool, isn't it?
Excellent. You're right. We'll get this up online anyway, and fingers crossed the shows go really well for you guys. I'll be keeping my ear open and see how things go. And hopefully we'll catch up again sometime in the near future. But really good luck with the shows, and good luck with the single that comes out Friday. And we'll catch up soon.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks very much, gentlemen. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you too.
Cheers. Bye.